Well, hello everyone, George Rambling Man here. Hope everybody's doing well on this beautiful Thursday afternoon in North Georgia. I just left downtown Ellijay, Georgia. I'm on Georgia Highway 52 and I am headed up to Fort Mountain State Park, which is just outside of Chatsworth. Got about another 20 minutes or so to get up there. This is a nice road through the mountains and one of my favorites. Well, last time I was on the bike and I made a vlog, I mentioned that the windscreen was going to have to go. And it went. As you can see, I have a new taller windscreen on. This is the Madstad 18-inch clear adjustable windscreen that I ordered online from Madstad. About $200 and something, $290 I think, maybe. In that range, less than 300, I know that. They shipped it fairly quickly and it was pretty easy to install. Took me about 30 minutes, just take the old windshield off, put these new Madstad adjustable brackets on and attach the new windshield. It's got about 2 inches of travel. And just for your information, if you're thinking about one, I've got the standard height seat on this BMW 750 GS, which sits me 32 inches above the ground, and I'm about 6 foot tall. And I ordered the 18-inch windscreen. Right now it's in the highest setting and I can look right over it. It is not in my line of sight. I can see right over the windscreen, and this is the perfect size for me. And I tell you, it is a quality product. It is well made. The materials, the brackets, everything is, they're solid. And I've read good reviews about these windscreens, and I give it an A+. It's a nice thick acrylic windscreen that's manufactured to fit this bike specifically. The bottom of the windscreen fits the lines of the bodywork on the front fairing just perfectly. It's also got these little small winglets on the side down at the bottom. I'll point to them down here right there on either side, and those even deflect more air around you. And when I was on the bike before, that standard little 8-inch windscreen was okay, on roads like this up to about maybe 40 miles an hour. But once you got faster than that, and especially if you got out on a highway and got up to 60, 70 miles an hour, the wind blast was on your body and on your helmet. It was just too much for me to take, and I realized right away if I was going to do any long distance touring or weekend trips that would be fatiguing and not a good thing. So that's really the only downside I have to this motorcycle that BMW has done. I mean, it looked pretty sharp, and I thought it was going to be fine. The air wasn't turbulent around my body and my head, but it just the wind blast was too much. So did my research, bought this Madstad screen, and I tell you, it's perfect. It takes all the air off of my body completely in this position and this size windscreen. I feel a little bit of air on my arms, which is fine. And the best thing is the wind goes completely over my helmet. It is not hitting my helmet at all. And I can open my visor and I have no wind blast in my eyes whatsoever. So there's no wind buffeting. I'm in kind of a quiet pocket of air, and I give this Madstad windscreen an A+. If you've got a BMW 750 GS or one of the newer 2024 800 GSs, and it has that small little 8-inch windscreen, and you want a bigger windscreen, want a bigger windshield, I highly recommend this Madstad. I do want to caution you on one thing. BMW actually has a touring windscreen that you can order directly from BMW. It's like $200 and something. It's comparable in price to the Madstad windscreen here, and I thought about getting it, but when I started doing a little bit of research on it, the windscreen itself is, I don't know, $230. Then you got to buy all the brackets and everything else, another $300, and then it gets up to around $500 or $600. And I said, no way on that. And it was only 15 inches high, which I thought might be a little on the short side. So very happy with this Madstad windscreen. I'll put a link to their website in the description below, and I recommend it highly. Second thing I've done, and you know, everything I've done to the bike so far, and I've done really three things I'm going to talk about, the windscreen being number one, is to kind of prepare for some light touring. Not, you know, not across the country, you know, nothing with two people or, you know, major trips, but, you know, myself on a long weekend or something. I knew I needed a few things, and the windscreen was number one, and I got that taken care of. Second thing I wanted was a little navigation help, and the BMW GS 750 GS models, they come with this GPS preparation already, you know, stock with the bike, or maybe it's part of the premium package, I'm not real sure, but you get this as a little cradle, and you can do two things with it. You can either buy the BMW branded Garmin GPS unit, and it slides right into this cradle, this bracket, and you know, it powers it, and you can control it with the controls over here on the left handlebar, and it also will actually put up, you know, turn-by-turn instructions on your TFT screen. That's an expensive piece of GPS equipment. It's like $900. I've read some, or not read, but I looked at some YouTube videos, and I guess there are a few problems with it. Maybe the software, and I'm sure they're addressing all that. But I said, that's too expensive. Well, the second thing that you can do is much less expensive, and the route that I chose is you can get what they call the Connected Ride Cradle. It's a little adapter that fits onto that bracket, which I have, and then you can sit your smartphone in it, and then you can just use your smartphone for navigation. And the good thing about that is that this is, you know, you don't have to get a separate phone mount. This is already here. It's got a wireless charger on it, so there's a little green light when the bike is on. You can see it right here. I'm pointing to it. Little green light, so it's a wireless charger. You know, it keeps your phone charged. The bracket's adjustable, so you can fit different size phones. I've got the larger iPhone 15, I think, and it fits perfectly in there. You have to take any kind of case that you've got on it off, but to get the wireless charging to work properly, but it fits in there just right. And then you can do a couple different things. You can just use Google Maps or Apple Maps. I've got the Apple Maps up here right now. Or you can download the BMW app for your phone, and you can use their navigation app. And if you use their app, you can do the same thing that you do with the BMW branded Garmin. You can actually control it with these controls over here. I haven't really played with that very much. I'm very used to the Apple Maps and Google Maps on my phone, and to me this works fine. Another good feature about the TFT screen and the technology on this GS is you can connect your Sena headset directly to your TFT screen. You can connect your phone directly to your TFT screen, and you know, I get turn-by-turn directions right through my Sena headset with either Google Maps or Apple Maps. I'm getting it right now. I don't know if you can hear it, but you know, this is perfect. I have no problem with this setup. Some people like to relocate this little unit up above the TFT screen, so it's more in your line of sight. You're not having to look down. This doesn't really bother me too much to have to look, you know, glance down at it. I think I'm probably just going to leave it right where it is. So very happy with that. I mean, that's another $230. Just less than $300. Again, not really cheap, but I think a good middle ground for getting navigation while you're out and about. The last thing I did, and I'll show you this on a little walk around when I get up here to the state park and find a little pull off, I'll show you the luggage that I got. As I mentioned before in one of my vlogs, the 750 GS does not come with any standard luggage. You know, BMW makes the Vario system hard bags and tail bags that you can put on this motorcycle. And if you're going to do any serious touring, I would suggest maybe you consider that. You can get a lot of storage in the tail bag and the side cases. And if I ever do any long trips, I'll probably spring and just buy that system. But for now, for just weekend trips, I've got a soft bag mounted to the tail rack on the bike, and I bought it from BMW. It's part of their Adventure series. It's their small, soft bag. It comes with straps that you just connect it to the rear rack. Very easy to do. Although I just tend to use bungee cords. A little bit easier for me. And it holds up to 45 liters. And when I pull off here and show it to you, you'll see it's a nice big soft bag. And that's doing it for me right now. And that was less than $300 as well. Actually, that one was slightly more than $300. I think it was like $329. So all three things, the windshield, the connected phone cradle for the GPS, and this BMW soft bag, I've got all three things for about $900. And yeah, I know I'm spending money already on this new bike, but I felt like those were three things that I really needed, three things I would recommend to you if you want to do any kind of light touring on the motorcycles. Get a little bit of luggage. You can go the expensive route and get the hard bags, or you can get a soft bag, and they're aftermarket bags. I bought the one from BMW. I thought it looked pretty good. It was pretty quality, and I just bought that one. So I'm ready. Spring is coming. As you can see, I live in a beautiful part of North Georgia. I love riding these mountain roads, and there's all kind of trips through in Tennessee, North Carolina I'd like to do. Some weekend trips this spring, and retired now, and I tell you, I highly recommend retirement. If I'd known how good retirement was going to be, and I've been retired for a couple of months now, if I'd known how good retirement was going to be, I'd have retired, right out of high school. I never started to work to begin with, but whatever. Went to college for 4 years and worked for 44 years, so I guess I put my time in. All right, folks, I just wanted to share those things I've added to my bike, the BMW 750 GS. Bought it new, 2023. I still haven't even got up to 600 miles yet for the initial service, but I'm just loving this bike. Of course, every motorcycle I ride I tend to love. but this one's this is great. It's a big change from my previous motorcycles, and I'll do a vlog pretty soon about that and why I decided to make the change. But I love it. It's a fun bike to ride, and it just kind of makes you want to ride fast because it's roads like this, you just want to zip through these turns, and it handles like a dream. All right, I'm on Highway 52, Georgia Highway 52, headed north to Fort Mountain State Park. I'll pull over up here and give you a little walk around, show you a little close-up of the windscreen and the Connected Ride Cradle and the soft bag. But I'm just enjoying this beautiful mountain road right now. Well, I've reached the top of Fort Mountain on Highway 52, the little pull-off here. And man, what a beautiful, secluded spot this is. I figured it's a great place to pull off and take a rest and kind of show you these things I've been talking about that I've added to my new 2023 BMW F750 GS. I mentioned the tail bag, and this is it. This is the BMW Adventure Series bag. It holds up to 45 liters, they say, and it's pretty well, good quality, and it fits right on the tail rack. I've got it bungee corded on there, and it's plenty big enough for me to go off on a weekend trip, that's for sure. Again, if you go on a longer tour, you might want to take the spring for the hard top case and the Vario side cases, but for me and for now, this is good. Order this directly off the BMW website, and I'll put a link to it below. But you can see it's nice, pretty good quality. Comes branded with the BMW emblem on there, and just quality bag. It's got a couple of side pockets, and very deep, and you can get a lot of stuff in there, and it fits really well on this luggage rack. Again, this is a small one. I don't know, the big one must be huge, but this fits me perfectly. The other thing I mentioned was the ride cradle, connected ride cradle. That's what you're looking at right there. The smartphone fits right into that cradle, as you can see from previous video when I was riding earlier, you know, you can just put on Apple Maps, Google Maps, you can use the BMW app, you can do lots of different things, but again, that was a good deal in my opinion. It cost me a couple $100, but you know, it wirelessly charges your phone, and it's a good place to keep it and give it the navigation. And then probably the best thing I did was get rid of that windscreen. You can see this is the new Madstad screen I've got. This is the 18-inch clear version, really well made. You can see the bottom of it fits the contours of the bike. This is especially made for the F750 GS. It also comes with these little small winglets here that you can see on the right here that deflect a little bit more air around your body, and it's adjustable. Not, you know, on the move. It's not electric, and you got to be stopped to do it. But there's a couple of knobs. They're right here. There's one. There's another one here. There's about 2 inches of adjustability in this windscreen, and again, it's the perfect height for me. Wind goes right over my helmet. I'm in a nice still pocket of air, and I can see directly over it. And just for reference, if you're thinking about it, this is the 18-inch screen. I'm about 6 feet tall. I have the standard height seat on this motorcycle, which is 32 inches above the ground, and I can see right over it. And this is in its highest position. But kudos to Madstad. They made a good product. They shipped it right to me. It took me about 30 minutes to install it. Just have to have the right tools, take off the old windscreen, put these new brackets on, and there you go. It's very, very easy to do. So that's it. Just enjoying this great day out on the new bike. Still don't even have the 600 miles on it yet for its first service, but I'm getting there. Just a beautiful ride up here today from Ellijay up to Fort Mountain. Just a scenic area of Georgia, and if you're in this area, I highly recommend it. Just get to Ellijay, take Highway 52 north towards Chatsworth, and you'll go right past Fort Mountain State Park. I used to go camping here as a kid when I was in the Boy Scouts, and it's a nice curvy twisty road getting up here. Great motorcycle road. All right folks, that's all from me. Hope everybody has a great week. This is George, your Rambling Man. So long everybody.